Most of you, okay. How many of you are writing mains this year? Can you raise your hand? Okay, yes. How many of you are writing mains this year? Okay, okay. Okay. So see guys, today we will discuss an important topic because this year we are having a war. Okay, this year we are having a war, and in this war, okay, we have a topic in this subject, ethics in international relation. And this year this topic is very important because of the Russian-Ukraine war. Okay, so we will see what are the ethical issues, okay, in international relation. And then I have not added this in question, but I think this year they will ask what is just war doctrine. Just war doctrine they are going to ask this year, pakka they are going to ask. So I'm going to discuss this an extra topic. Okay, so because this is linked to this, so what do you understand by moral responsibility in the context of international relations? Okay, what do you understand by moral responsibilities? Okay, so moral responsibility in the context of international relation, okay, can be first of all what? Respect for sovereignty. Respect for sovereignty. Second point can be what? Respect for human rights. Respect for human rights. Okay, then it can be what? Next, it can be non-intervention. This will be same, non-intervention. Then it can be what? Protection of global commons. And you have to give example for all. You have to give example for all. Okay, okay. You can give example for each one of them. So what is the moral responsibility in the context of international relations? Okay, so first and foremost, moral responsibility is what? Okay, we have to respect, because it's international relation, and international relation is always relation between two nation state. Okay, two nation state. So first and foremost point will be respect for each other's sovereignty. Respect for each other's sovereignty is one of the most important ethical responsibilities. Okay, responsibilities which COVID diplomacy. Oh, COVID diplomacy. Okay, someone is saying COVID diplomacy. Okay, so okay, COVID diplomacy we can say like, okay, disaster help, okay, or humanitarian help. Can we write humanitarian help for COVID? It will come in humanitarian help or not? COVID will come under humanitarian help or not? How many of you think it will come in humanitarian help? Humanitarian help or not? COVID will come under humanitarian help or not? Okay. See, recently India is giving humanitarian help to which country? Can anyone tell me?
Sri Lanka.
Afghanistan and Sri Lanka.
You know, Sri Lanka has said, the Prime Minister has thanked India for the help. Okay. So very good point. Okay. So all, see, in ethics, I'm telling you, the only way to score more and more marks. Okay. The only way. That is the only mantra to score more and more marks. And this is to give lot of examples. The 1 point you give one example. 1 point you give one example. 1 point you give one example. 1 point you give 1 point you give. Then just war doctrine. Just war. That is also moral responsibility, that we will not involve ourselves in any unjust war or unjust war. Okay. So these are some ethical doctrines. Okay. Of our moral responsibility we have. Okay, see, protection of global commons. Okay, can you give me recent examples? Protection of global commons recently only. WTO has said what? Fisheries, overfishing, Sustainable Development Goal 14. Guys, have you followed that or not? Have you followed that or not? Yeah, global commons will yes, include that also. Global common basically will include atmosphere, sea and polar regions. Polar These are global commons. Okay, these are global commons. Okay, space is also global common. Yes, space, non-militarization of space, everything will come. Protection of global common, na. So you see how to write. Many people are asking me sometimes, sir, please teach answer writing also. So let us try to write. Okay, we'll say that how we'll write. We'll write so many points. You see, what do you understand by moral responsibility in the context of international relation? We'll write that. Okay, international relation. Okay, international relation is the we can define international relation, and we can say that it includes, okay, if in international relation which is based on ethical principles. Okay, ethical principles. Okay, is more sustainable. Okay, more sustainable. Okay, we'll write something like, we can write 1 or 2 line introduction. Okay, we can write 1 and 2 line introduction, and then we will start writing moral responsibilities. Okay, in international relation, and then first point we will write respect for sovereignty, and one example we will give. Second, global commons, right? For atmosphere pollution, we'll talk about the global climate change, that treaty which has been signed. For polar, we'll talk about Arctic treaty. Okay, for space, we already have a space treaty. So all these examples we can give, all these human rights. Okay, so more number of points and more number of examples. Like you have to write in point wise, and you have to underline it. 1 line you write and 1 example. 1 line you write and 1 example. Okay, are you following this? Anyone has any other point?
Sir, I have a doubt. Like, will global commons also include wildlife?
हाँ, बोल सकते हैं. Biodiversity basically, ना.
Territorial integrity of the nation.
You want biodiversity, na?
Yes, sir. Can we include that?
Biodiversity, yes, you can include.
Sir, Article 51.
Huh?
Article
51, we can say that in India we have Vasudev Kutumbakam, and in Indian Constitution we have DPSP. Under DPSP we have this to have friendly relationship, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other point? First question, everyone will be able
The
to.
territorial integrity of the nation. Respect
अरे
for
वो
the
तो बोल दिया ना,
territorial integrity.
respect for sovereignty क्या है? First point तो लिखा हुआ.
No first use.
He is saying no first use means disarmament. Right, disarmament. You can write disarmament. Okay.
Sir, can we give example of India-Pakistan Indus Water Treaty? Like, despite all the bitter relations between India and Pakistan on border issues and terrorism, the Indus Water Treaty is an example of like a glowing example of cooperation between 2 states regarding river waters.
Correct.
Sir,
Someone is writing this. See, don't write these theories. Someone is saying IR, international relation ethics, realism, idealism. See, I will tell you one thing. Okay, in ethics, okay, try to write more, okay, in a general manner. Don't try to write too many jargons. Okay, what is international relation? Realism says that I will protect my self-interest. And self-interest here is national interest. Idealism says no, I will sacrifice my self-interest also for some idealistic values. For example, Russia should not attack Ukraine. Russia, by attacking Ukraine, has basically violated the sovereignty of Ukraine. So it has violated all the norms of international relation. Okay. So as an India which believe in respect for sovereignty, okay, and integrity, okay.
Punch shield.
Huh?
Punch shield.
So India should say what? India should boycott Russia. India should boycott Russia. Idealism. If India wants idealism, if India has to follow idealism, okay, then India should boycott Russia. But India is buying more and more and more and more and more and oil from Russia. Why? Because India is looking international relation from realistic perspective. Realism, not idealism. Are you following this? See, even Western world, do you know, at present, Russia is supplying gas to Europe. Entire Europe, they are putting sanctions on Russia, but they are buying gas from Russia. And do you know that pipeline is running from Ukraine only?
Yes, sir.
That pipeline is running from Ukraine. And right
Ukraine
now
is
also,
taking money from-
Ukraine is getting money from Russia for allowing the gas to go. Are you knowing this or not fact?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is called realism in international relation. So idealism, okay, idealism and realism, there has to be a balance. We cannot be too realistic, and we cannot sacrifice all the values. On the other hand, we cannot be too idealistic and sacrifice our all national interest, and we will not survive only. We will not survive. So to follow idealism, first of all, अब एक बोलता है कि अब भाई चैरिटी करने के लिए पैसा भी तो होना चाहिए.
Right.
समझ रहे हैं सर कि नहीं? सब चैरिटी करेंगे तो देने लायक ही नहीं रहेगा, हम ही को मांगना पड़ेगा फिर. Guys, are you understanding or not?
Yes, sir.
Guys,
Yes, sir. Sir, one thing I
if we
wanted
become
to
too
ask.
idealistic,
Yes,
then
sir.
we have to beg. We have to start begging. Okay. So we have to have a balance between idealism and realism in our life also, in international relations also, everywhere. Okay. Tell, go on. Sir, I am giving examples. Why we are discussing example? Ethics is all about example. All these points, okay. I'll tell you in my notes, ethics masterclass notes, I have given 4 points, 4 moral responsibilities: sovereign equality of states, non-intervention, self-determination, respect for human rights, protection of global commons. These are some ethical principles, but more and more examples. If you give more and more examples, then only you will get marks. That is why I am discussing so many examples. Yeah, go on. Anyone wants to say something?
Sir, in the case of Rwanda genocide, there have been statements now asking for as a regret.
You
That
can
it
write that. This is called what? This is called what? Reparation, na? I think.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is that called?
Reparation. Yeah, reparation. Yes.
Reparation. It's called reparation. Okay, you can talk about that.
Sir, similarly, Germany is also asking for like this from Namibia, because I think they plundered Namibia during the time.
Namibia is asking from Germany, na?
Sir,
Yes.
so Germany is like asking for forgiveness from Namibia because
Oh, Germany is asking. Okay, please forgive. Okay, I thought Namibia is asking that we will. Okay, then please give us reparation. Reparation means they will give some money, some development aid. They will say sorry like this. Okay. All these points are there, guys. Okay.
And sir,
Okay.
one more example could be like if you commit to an agreement, you should try to fulfill that, like INDCs. Like India, China, they have an
International
agreement.
commitments. Yeah, international
Yeah,
commitments. You should,
India, China have an agreement that at the border no bullet would be fired, and many years have gone that no single bullet have been fired.
Okay, yeah, you can write here respect for international norms. You write like this: respect for international laws and norms. Guys, you write respect for international norms and laws. You can write here one more moral responsibility is we will respect. I think this is in DPSP only. I think, if I'm right. Respect for international norms and laws. This also you can write. Okay. Now, guys, let us, in this context only, let us try to understand what is law of war or what is a just war. Okay. So there are various ethical principles or ethical problems, whatever you can call them. Okay. There are various ethical problems of wars. Okay. Various ethical problems of war. These ethical problems of war can be categorized into 3 categories: category 1, category 2, and category 3. Category 1 are ethical problems before the war has begun. So what are the various ethical issues before the law has begun? What are the reasons? Okay, just like without any reasons, you should not go into war. It is foolish to go into a war just without any good reason. You should have some good reason to go to war. Okay. Next, okay, that there are some wars easier to justify than others. Okay, that okay, because like this point you should have, this point you should write that before declaring war, okay, there must be some good reason. There must be some good reason. Okay. Next, during the war, what are the ethical issues? Can we target civilians? Obviously not. Okay. Can we use children as a part of the army? Obviously not. Can we target women? Obviously not. How to treat prisoners of war? How to treat prisoners of war? Okay. Can we target hospitals? Can we target old age home? These are the ethical issues during the war. Ethical issues during the war. You see, in this Ukraine war also, there are many stories where people, residential complexes have been demolished. People have died. There are also some of the Bucha massacre. Somebody saying Bucha massacre. Okay, Bucha killings. Yes. Okay. So during the war also, there are some ethical problems. And after the war also, there are some ethical problems. What are the after wars? How to rebuild? How to return prisoners of war? You see, India, Pakistan, prisoners of war. There is a movie also on that. There is a movie also on that. Okay, prisoners of war, POW. Is a movie or not? Amitabh Bachchan is there in that movie, I believe. Okay, so after the war also there are some ethical principles which need to be followed. Okay, so what is a just war? Okay, what are the criteria that a war should fulfill to be called as just war? The first reason is what? It should have a just cause. It should have a just cause. It should have right intentions. The war should be for right intention. Okay. Without any intention, you cannot just declare war on others. For example, can you say India, which war India can say that it was a just war? Can you tell me? Anyone? India?
Indo-Bangladesh.
Yeah, Indo-Bangladesh.
71,
Very
Bangladesh.
good. Very good. That time you see, lot of atrocities were done to the Bangladeshis by the Pakistani army. Lot of atrocities. And India had to intervene. And India had the right intention to intervene. Okay. So yes. And there are many international examples also for that. Then you must have some chance to succeed. Otherwise, what? Your country will get devastated. So some people, you see, Korea, there is one country called North Korea. What he says, we will attack US. They say or not? Huh? So do you think North Korea, if it goes into war with US, what will happen to this country? What do you think? So it is a moral responsibility of this country or the leader of the country that I should not go into a war because there is no chance that they will win. Okay. So there is no chance. So there must be reasonable chance now also to win. If you know that I am going to lose, okay, then why will you declare war? You should not declare war. You should go for any kind of negotiations. Okay. Then the proportion of benefits and losses should be what? Balanced. Suppose you are going to lose much, only something you will win. So it is what? It is going to be what? No use. That war is of no use. I'm telling you. If you are going to lose everything in the war, and then even if you win the war, that is of no use. That is of no use, guys. then war should be of last resort. War should be a last resort. Before that, you should have diplomacy. If diplomacy fails, then only you should go for war. And war should be declared by legitimate authority. Means war should be only declared by the leader, legitimate leader, not like people themselves will declare war. Okay, we are at war with Pakistan or something like that. No, you cannot say like that. The country authority, the legitimate authority has to declare. Sometimes it happens or not. Sometimes some fringe elements are there or not. Sometimes there are fringe elements or not. They'll start saying, no, Pakistan, this, that, and they'll try to pump up emotions or not. So a war to be called a just war must be declared by legitimate authority only. Legitimate authority only. So these are the 6 principles of just war. These are the 6 principles of just war. I believe everyone will be able to write an answer on what is a just war. It should have just cause. It should have just right intentions. It should have reasonable probability of winning. It should the benefit should be proportionate to the losses. The war should be the last resort. Okay, after diplomacy has failed, and war only declares legitimate authority. Guys, are you able to understand this? Okay, are you able to understand now? Can you handle any question on coming on international relation? Okay, guys, can you tackle this? Can you name 2-3 issues? Okay, tomorrow we will discuss this IP rights, IPR. Okay, we'll discuss that. IPR, intellectual property, international relation, WIPO, WTO. We'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, today I'm not going to discuss that. Tomorrow I'll discuss that. Okay, so I hope this question will you able to write any international relation ethical questions. You have sufficient points or not? Please mention UDHR. You see, respect for international laws. What are the international laws? UDHR, right? UDHR, Geneva Convention, Geneva Convention, Geneva Convention. Various conventions are there or not? Various conventions are there or not? Can you name few of them? Vienna Convention, Vienna Convention, Vienna. Can you tell me any ethical principles related to any ethical relation to what to say, citizenship? What is that ethical principle? Non-refoulement, non-refoulement, non-refoulement. What is this? Okay.
Sir, when the people are displaced from one country to another, and especially when they are leaving a country out of some, say, the war-like situation or any crisis, so we should not.
When people are forced to leave a country, okay, through any kind of what to say, what is the word they have used? They have, I think they have used the word
Persecution.
Yeah.
Persecution, sir.
Persecution, yeah. When the people are persecuted on the basis of religion or on the basis of political leanings, okay, or on the basis of race, okay, ethnicity, and they have to leave their country, and when they take refuge in some other country, they cannot be pushed back.
Yes.
So you can write Rohingya crisis. So all this is enough to write. Yeah, just that's why I'm taking it as a discussion rather than just saying, oh, these are the 5 points. I just want to throw a lot of issues. UNCLOS. Someone is saying UNCLOS. Sister, UNCLOS will come in global commons. Priya, sister, UNCLOS will come in global commons, sister. Okay, like climate change, na global commons. Global common. Okay, sea is a global common. UNCLOS is basically for the sea. Okay. So this I have already written, sir. You see, global common, I have written already the point. Okay. Global common. You can write down. Okay. So Vienna Convention, Geneva Convention, UDHR. Okay. So respect for ethical norms. So आप जैसे लिखोगे ना, इसको लिखा 2 points, 2 examples. इसको लिखा 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 2 examples. 2 examples for everyone. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever number of examples you can give, guys, it will really spice your answers. Spice your answer. Okay. Spice up your answers. Just war doctrine. Just we have done this just war doctrine also. I believe you have enough points to tackle any question thrown at you in international relation. Can you handle it, guys? Rohingya crisis. Rohingya crisis. Okay. Then food crisis. You see, a lot of food crisis. Humanitarian aid. In humanitarian aid, you can write food crisis in Afghanistan. Food crisis in Afghanistan. Food crisis in Afghanistan. Food crisis in Africa, Western Africa. Okay, guys. What do you understand by conscience?